we gather, open hearts and open minds, sharing truth in every season, growing stronger through time. We're learning, we're growing, finding strength inside through real conversations. Together we rise. It's through real conversations. Together we rise.
Hello, everyone. This is Michelle Biggs, CEO of My Best Everyday Coaching and Consulting, and the host of this podcast, Real Conversations with Michelle. For those of you who are new to my platform, I am a master certified life coach, as well as an executive and career coach. I am a retired human resources professional, worked in a global pharmaceutical company for 23 years, as well as an investment bank for 14 years. And I started this podcast in 2020 when all of us were sitting at home, and I was trying to figure out a way how I could make an impact for that time. And this podcast was birthed. I still can't believe I'm going on 6 years. But what I try to do is bring forth a variety of lifestyle topics that I think folks can benefit from hearing. And it truly is about us all learning and growing together. I definitely don't have all the answers. I bring in guests who share some of the experiences that I'm talking about. But one of the things that I do want to also point out that this is an educational podcast. So like any educational program, please make sure you do your own homework to make sure that the information that is sharing, although it might feel like it applies to you and it's something you want to do your homework to make sure that it truly is going to work for you. And that said, what I would like to do is bring on my guest for this episode, y'all. It's part of my Career Evolution series. It's actually the finale. Part one, I focused on those who are early in their career with a topic called Navigating the Workplace. Part two was for those who were mid-career, and that was focused on the pivot, making career pivots. And this one is for those of you who are near retirement or in the retirement space. And my guests tonight are all in that space as we speak, with one who retired this year. The other three retired over the last four or 5 years. Okay. And then you guys know, I already said I'm retired. So I'll be chiming in with some of these questions that I'm about to ask as well. So let me bring on my guest. And first up is Sharon Artis. Sharon, hold on, let me get this together. Hey, Sharon.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Okay, let me bring on Sharon. I don't know what happened because you were good a few minutes ago. Let me bring on John. Hey, John. John,
Hey,
can you
can you
hear
hear
me?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I can
hear
hear
you.
you. Yes. John, tell my guests a little bit about yourself.
Certainly. Good evening, everyone. I'm John Grimes. Glad to be on this podcast. So happy that Michelle invited me to it. I have over 25 years of progressive experience working in the human resources arena with an emphasis on recruitment and talent acquisition. I handled a myriad of responsibilities during that time in an efficient and effective manner within various organizations, mainly throughout the state of North Carolina, but also some other organizations as well. So
Thank you,
that's kind of
John.
like a high level summary.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I appreciate that. Sharon,
Hi,
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Good. So
It
tell
always
everybody.
happens.
I know. I don't know. Okay. Tell the guests about yourself, Sharon.
So, good evening, everyone. And Michelle, thank you for having me on. My name is Sharon Artis, and I spent approximately 37 years working in the financial services insurance industry. I retired. Well, I accepted an early retirement in June of 24, so I'm coming up on 2 years now. And I worked in roles which vary from compliance to risk management, including operational risk and third party risk. My last assignment before retiring, I was working for an international insurance company, and I supported globally the third party risk department.
Thank you, Sharon.
And I think
Go ahead,
the
kick it.
one word, yeah, you were asked about the one
Yeah.
word.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since retirement, I think my one word, I mean, there are a number of words, but I think I'll go with rebirth.
Rebirth. Okay. And we'll
Rebirth.
get into a little bit of that. John, you didn't mention
And
your
yeah, and I
yeah.
left something out. I just
No,
realized
you
that
good. You good.
uh, I retired on March 1st of this year, so it's been about 3 months. And right before retiring, I was with the North Carolina Department of Revenue in the HR division as an human resources business partner. One word to describe how I'm feeling now that I've been retired is fulfilled.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that feeling, John. And I'm going on 3 years because I retired in 2023.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm yeah, I can't rejuvenated. Yeah, there's so many words I can use right now.
Right.
Next up, my power couple, Johnnie and Lavay. Richardson, who wants to go first in terms of introducing yourself?
I'm gonna go first.
Okay, and Lavay, come in a little bit, just a little bit. Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
There we
Okay.
go. Okay. Hi, my name is Lavay Richardson. I want to say thank you to Michelle for having me on here along with my husband. Little nervous, but I'm gonna get myself together.
You good?
but
You good?
but I worked with Merrill Lynch for 16 years, and then I went into the school system for CMS for 10 years. Um,
And that's
I
Charlotte
am now,
Mecklenburg County School
yes, Charlotte
System, right?
Mecklenburg School.
Yeah.
I'm now. I was working as a coordinator there, so I dealt with all the schools and the Charlotte Mecklenburg School, from the elementary school to the high school. And I've been retired now for 3 years. I retired the same year Michelle did.
Yeah.
So I am loving it,
Oh, good. I'm
and
glad. And your word, oh, you said loving it. Okay, cool. Johnnie, how about you?
My name is Johnnie Richardson. Glad to be here. I've been on Michelle podcast before in a different capacity, but at this time, as far as retirement wise, I spent 6 years in the United States Marine Corps and then 32 years in commercial finance. I have worked as far as vice president of PNC Bank, regional manager for Case Credit, and I did my last 5 years with AAA in the accounting division. I've been currently retired now, be 5 years in August. I retired in August 11th, 2021. I remember the date and the time that I
I know ain't
retired.
nothing. It's just like
Yes. And my
yeah.
one word I would say will be I'm blessed. Blessed.
Amen.
Blessed.
Amen.
Blessed.
Amen.
Blessed to be retired.
And I'm gonna change this. Let me see if I change this layout a little better. Hold on, y'all. Let me see if I can do something here because I want to make sure everybody's being seen. Okay. We're gonna have to just deal with this for now. But thank y'all. Thank y'all. And my word, like I said, I just said my word. I said rejuvenated. It was like the best decision I could have made. I'm glad I was able to retire when I did because I was tired. I don't know about y'all, but by the time I got to the point of retirement, I was telling everybody in my circle, I said, once you know that everything gets on your nerves, like everything starts to get on your nerves. And look, I'm leading the HR function, and I'm like, yeah, it's not good that everything is getting on my nerves, right? So that's one of the signs it's time for you to look into retiring at that time, right?
Yes,
Okay, so
yes.
let's get into the questions. Okay, so what has been most meaningful about retirement for you, and how different is the reality from what you may have expected? So, who wants to go first with that question?
So I'll go.
Go
I'll
ahead,
take it.
Sharon.
So, just as a caveat, I want to share that I am a single individual, never married, no children, no
Hmm.
pets. And I share that because I think we all have different situations. There's no one situation for all of us, right? Because our
Amen.
situations are very different. So please take in mind that everything I say will come from that perspective. Doesn't mean I don't have responsibilities, but I recognize that they're very different than a married couple or a couple or a family with children and so forth. So I just want to throw that out there first.
And Sharon, this is one of the reasons, and let me just say this. This is one of the reasons I selected all of you, because you all have something different in terms of your situations that I think is beneficial for people to hear. So thank you for saying that. But go ahead.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hmm.
So to answer the question, it's since retirement, the thing that has been most meaningful to me is really truly placing a significant value on time, because it is truly our most precious commodity. Once it's gone, it's gone. We have days ahead of us, but we don't have all of the ones that are behind us. And so I have intentionally thought about where I spend my time. And yet we
Hmm.
think about retirement and it's all about our money. And I'm sure we're all planning for it, for ourselves. But the time for me is just as equivalent as important as my money. Right.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's the years of working and, family holidays and everybody lives out of state and I can only be there for a weekend. It's being intentional about having quality time with the people that I love and the people that are important to me, and letting them know that they're important to me and spending that time with them, because I think the greatest gift that I can give them is my time
Hmm.
and attention. Whereas when I
Yeah.
was working, I was like, oh, I got to do this project. I'm spending a couple hours with you and I'm running out, right?
Hmm.
And that's not
Hmm.
truly living.
Hmm.
So and the thing that the reality is that I didn't realize I didn't have any hobbies.
Okay.
And it's just
Okay.
one extreme. So because so much of my life and all of our lives has been spent 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day, it was working. Well, now I
Hmm.
have that back. So what do I
Right.
do with it all? Because before
Hmm.
I didn't really have time, I thought, to have hobbies, because it was
Right.
work, 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 because you're trying to
Right.
get to the next level, you're trying to earn this or whatever. So that was what, if you will, my focus and my hobby was. So that is a thing that's been unexpected for me. It's like, now
Yeah.
I have all this precious time that means the world to me. How do I manage it all
Yeah.
um right now? And so for me, that personally, that has been somewhat of a challenge.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
Mhm, of
John, how
course.
about you?
Um, Certainly, the most meaningful thing for me, as it regards retirement, even though it's been just a few months, is the freedom, and also the satisfaction of completion. It's like, okay, 32 years. It's like, wow, I'm done. I
Hmm.
completed it, and it's like I didn't think it would ever get here, but it's done. In terms of how different the reality has been from what I expected, it's really hard to say what can be expected of the unknown. But it
Hmm.
was just surreal. I was like, wow,
Hmm.
I'm at this moment. It's here. I had a reception at my office and had family and friends there. All my line brothers were there. People from way back in my career that were there was saying all these things. Like, who are they talking about?
I
So it was like
know.
it was
That
like a
is,
surreal moment.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
surreal
Yeah.
moment. But that's the thing for me, is the satisfaction that it has been completed.
Hmm. Hmm. Anything for you that's reality for what you may have expected?
Um, I would
Well,
say
or you
the
still,
react.
pretty new, so it may not have set
Yeah,
in yet.
well, the reality is that you don't have to go to work anymore. Kind of like what
Right.
Sharon was saying. You don't have those meetings. You don't have to log in to some, meeting or something like that, and get on this call, You don't have to worry about a deadline. You don't have to worry about a project. You don't have to worry about problems. People not playing nice in the sandbox. Because my career has mostly been HR. So I was like, I don't have to deal with that anymore. So, yeah.
Absolutely. The Richardsons. Who wants to answer
Yes.
first?
I will start it off. I will go back as far as what Sharon was speaking about. We are unique. We've been married 40 plus years, and before we got retired, uh, and we have two sons that are
Mm-hmm.
married and two grandsons.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a different capacity, but
Right.
we've been empty nest for about 10 years.
Right.
So, which is great,
Yeah, real good.
you know. But as far as meaningful wise, as far as time, and I had that down too. Time is very important
Mm-hmm.
being retired because I talked to a lot of people prior to retiring, and I said the first thing I always ask them, "What do you do in your day when you retire?" They said, "Well, we don't get out of bed until 10 o'clock." I said, "That's be impossible. That's impossible for me. That's
Right.
impossible."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to getting up 6 o'clock in the morning, and just by working. But I used to get up regardless if I'm working or not. I'm still waking up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we fit in that time period, getting up and doing what we want to do at
Yeah.
5 and 6 o'clock in the morning.
Amen.
So
Amen.
it's still getting up, but it's what we want to do.
You
I'm
do.
not getting up, jumping up, getting in the shower, going to work. I'm getting up, making maybe some breakfast or getting ready to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
What I
Mm-hmm.
want to do. Time is very important, and that's
Yeah.
one thing
Yeah.
that meaningful. Uh, the different for reality wise, association with people, people,
Say more.
association. When you deal with people one way, because you get off.
Ooh, Johnny, you cutting
Excuse
out
me.
just a little bit. Say that again, Johnny.
Oh, you you deal with people one way.
You guys are breaking up just a little bit.
We are.
I don't know if you guys are. Yeah, are you guys
Can
connected
you
to your
hear? Can
Wi-Fi?
you hear
Better.
us?
We can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You
Okay.
go ahead.
Because it seems like you're doing something as well. Okay, but what I was saying is that it's just dealing with people. You meet different type of people when you're when you're retired, and then people that you're not retired. When you're working, you got certain you're dealing with your colleagues. When you retire,
Yeah,
you're dealing
yeah.
with maybe some organizations. It's different type
Mm-hmm.
of people that you're dealing with in an
Yeah,
association, and as far as your associates with, it's your
yeah,
surroundings is totally different. You know,
yeah,
I'm not going to see the same people all the time that I've seen for over 30 years.
yeah,
So it's different.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Lavay,
I go with John. I like the fact that I'm retired. We're not with the people in the work environment anymore. You don't have to get up and go to work. You don't have to deal with the traffic anymore. You don't have to
The
deal with the
traffic for sure.
attitudes. And
Yeah.
traffic for sure. And
Oh.
just um, being on my own time and doing what I want to
Mm-hmm.
do, I'm
Mm-hmm.
enjoying every minute of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said again, people attitudes. You go to work, and you come into work with a good attitude, and somebody just ticks you off for a moment. You're like, okay, it's time to
Yeah.
go. It's
Yeah.
really time to go. So, and I know we all can understand that because as long as we've been working and we see people, and basically we would see those people more than we would see our family because we're there
Uh,
from 8 in the morning until maybe 5 or 9 to 5 or 8 to whatever
yeah.
time they're there.
Yeah.
We see them more than we do see our own family. So, with that said, um, I have time for myself.
Yeah.
I can do what I want to do now. If
Yeah.
I want to go out to eat, I can do it by myself. I want to call someone and say, okay, you know, you want to come out, but everybody's not retired.
Right.
Majority of
Right.
people that we know, they're not retired. They're still working.
Yeah, yeah. Lavay,
So,
get back in the camera a little bit,
oh,
hon.
I'm sorry. They're
Okay,
still
yeah.
working, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. They're still working, and I'm saying like it'll come, but I'm
Yeah,
enjoying it.
yeah.
So,
And one of the
you
things for me, well, one, I know one of the questions that I have gotten asked quite a few times, aren't you bored? I was like, nope.
nope, no,
Bored is
no,
not in my vocabulary. Not one iota. It's not in my
no.
vocabulary.
And
So
I
I'm
think
not
that's a
bored.
frame of mind too,
Yeah,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
Yes.
even for those, because like I said, I accepted an early retirement. So I actually retired almost 3.5 years before I was planning to.
mm-hmm,
But I knew I was like, oh, take it. God gives you a
mm-hmm,
gift.
mm-hmm.
Take it.
Yep.
And I,
Yep.
I think that there are oftentimes things that while we're working and so much of our time has been focused on something or someone else, when you have that time, it gives you the opportunity to focus on you, however that looks for you. Right, because I
Yeah,
recognize that because we're all different people, our priorities shift. But
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to be bored when you're working, you're like, oh, I don't have enough time over the weekend to do this, whether it's plant, whether it's paint, whether it's whatever your it is. So I
yeah,
could
Right.
never
Right.
think about being bored
yeah,
because I
yeah.
just got
Bored
to
is not
sort
my
of go back in my
vocabulary.
mind all the things I said I wanted to do that I didn't have enough time to
Well,
do.
and Sharon, to that point, for me, I have been trying to. So I'm not a morning person, y'all. I usually tell people, look, if you want to really engage me and want a really good answer, call me around 10 o'clock. I'm in the office, but I ain't fully there yet. Now I'm a late owl. I will be up all
Right.
night. You might get emails from me all times of the night, um, but one of the things I've been able to do is work out on a consistent basis.
Mhm.
Something I have not been able to do when I was working. And no matter how hard I tried, I could not be consistent.
Mhm.
So that's one of the things for me that really stood out. And just being able to spend time with my family. I just remember,
Right.
the big reality for me, and Sharon and Johnny know this. I was planning to retire in April. So that time was set in my head. But and also in my head was I'm going to spend time with my mom. I'm from Brooklyn. I live in North Carolina now. My dad was bedridden. So in my head is like, okay, I will have this time to go spend with my dad and all that. Well, I retired April 16th. My father passed away April 1st. And for me, that was a signal for me. Is like, Michelle, you have got to spend time with people now.
Mhm.
Don't think you
Mhm.
have till tomorrow because it may not be here,
That's
right?
right.
That's right. That's right.
So I feel like that was my father's lesson to me. That was his
Mhm.
gift back to me because I was one of those people between church, sorority, work, all kinds of stuff. I would put all
Right.
those
Mm-hmm.
things
Right.
first, except
Mm-hmm.
for, quite frankly, just taking time to spend with my family, right? The
That's right.
quality
That's right.
time to
That's
spend
right.
with my
Mhm.
family. So anyway, thank you all for that. So looking back, what are some things people should begin thinking about or preparing for before retirement beyond just finances, right? Because again, we know there's a financial piece in it. And
Mhm.
I put a disclaimer up in a post earlier today to say we're not giving financial advice. That's not what this
Right.
episode is
Right.
about.
Right.
But we do know you gotta think
Mhm.
about your finances, right?
Right.
But looking back, what are some things people should begin thinking about preparing for before retirement beyond
I'll
just
do.
finances?
I'll do.
Go ahead,
I
Johnny.
I'll go in reference to healthcare.
Yeah,
Yes.
Your healthcare
Yeah.
is the most important thing that you better check on your box before you retire.
yeah,
Because you're not getting younger, you're getting older once you retire, of
Right.
course.
Mm-hmm.
And you will figure out that you'll be going to the
The doctor.
doctors a little bit more than you
yeah.
used
Used
to.
to.
And
Yes.
Mhm.
Johnny, let me
And
just add to that point because one of the things, so I retired before I was 60, right? And I got a couple more years to go before I'm 65. One of the things I did not realize, didn't think about for corporate, they don't cover dental. So you got to buy dental on your
Nope.
No.
own.
right,
You
Vision
gotta
either.
do that.
right.
Vision
I'm
either,
going.
right?
I'm
I wasn't even
going.
thinking about that,
Nope.
as I was planning. Thank
Yep.
God, I'm able to deal with it.
I'm going through that right now. I have to
Yeah,
do
but you
something
don't think
altogether
about,
different.
yeah.
Dental and eye is not
Mhm.
the
It's not
thing you would
covered.
think.
It's
Not
not part of
Mhm.
covered.
most
No.
companies'
No.
plans. You'll
Mm-mm.
get the
So you
Nope.
have to
medical.
go outside
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Well,
And
like
like
I
even for the
s-
medical,
right,
because I remember Sharon and I were talking about this. You know, I work for
right.
a pharmaceutical company, so I'm thinking that was part of why I got what I got. But
It's
my
very
insurance
different.
is pretty good. But for people, if you work for a company that doesn't have that, the premium for medical is so
Are
high.
oh, it's so
Yeah.
high.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
So
And I'm going to go back and just use that word bless again because
absolutely.
Hmm.
I'm a veteran. And people out there, if you're veterans, you need to look into veterans health care.
Yeah.
I'm 100% service connected disability veteran. So all of my expenses for health is paid for the rest of my life and my wife.
Right. Amen.
So
Thank God.
Yeah,
and my wife. So that's a
that's a
blessing
blessing. Yes.
that, because I know the expenses that out comes out for corporate for premiums and
Mhm.
it's going up every year
Yeah.
and I am so blessed for that.
Yeah.
But if you
Yeah.
do have, if anybody thinking about retiring, if you're a veteran, please look into your veterans
Right.
eligibility that you can be able to receive those benefits. It should
Mhm.
be great for you.
Yeah.
And
And John,
Right.
can
and
I one minute, Sharon? John, because I know you're married as well. And from an HR standpoint, I think the other piece is also understanding what your spouse has. So
Right.
you
Right.
know what you should take and
Yes.
what your wife
Yes.
should take, and vice
Right.
versa. So make sure you understand what's the best insurance for you to follow to
Exactly.
fall
Exactly.
under, right?
Yeah. And being working with the state of North Carolina, they have everything laid out for you all in advance. I did everything like 4 months in advance. Like,
Right.
okay,
Right.
Social
Hmm.
Security, Medicare, so that there aren't any hiccups. But
Yeah.
Right. Right.
that's what I wrote down, exactly what Johnny said with health insurance. And
Hmm.
the other thing was, what people should begin to think about is, what is retirement going to look like? What is going to
Right.
be, what are you going to be doing? X,
Yeah.
Y, Z, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. It's hard to kind of gauge it, but some people kind of map it out. For
Yeah.
me, it was like, okay, now I can start exercising, more during the week, because now I don't have that 8 hours of work that I'm worried about. So
Hmm.
now I can go do more things in the community, volunteering at schools and things like that.
Hmm.
You have to look at those things
things.
ahead of time if you
Hmm.
Right.
Right.
can. But if you don't think about them, it's okay, because guess what? Now you got that freedom that I talked
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
earlier.
You ain't got
Yeah,
to rush. You don't have
Right.
to rush
right.
and
Yeah,
do
Right.
you have
anything.
that freedom. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sharon, go
It's
ahead. I'm sorry. Go
no,
ahead.
no, no. It's really interesting that we're having this dialogue, and I think all of us was thinking about health, right? And because our situations are so different. So me having worked always in private sector, um, I'm 62. I retired at 60, so there's no Medicaid or Medicare for me, right?
Right.
Exactly.
No.
Me too,
Not
Sharon.
yet
Not
anyway,
yet.
right?
Yeah.
And
Not
hopefully it will
yet.
still be there, but not yet. There's no Medicaid or Medicare for me,
Mm-hmm.
right? I retired again, as I said, at 60. So yes, I applied, and I'm in New York, so I apply. Initially, I was paying from Cobra, which is absolutely unequivocally ridiculous.
Right.
Yes.
No
Oh my
one
goodness.
okay.
Wow.
That's all right. No,
That
so
was a
right.
short period. So then I
Hmm.
applied through New York's whatever, it's healthcare, and I think it relates to Obamacare. But this is the
Mm-hmm.
catch, right? That no one really tells you about. My premium monthly was a little over $300.
Mm-hmm.
You are limited. The doctors. Now, if you've been with your doctors for years and you have a rapport, you want to keep your doctors. But
Mm-hmm.
these insurance plans don't, your doctors don't all accept them.
Right.
Now, in no way am I speaking ill of it, because there are millions of Americans who have nothing,
Right.
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 right? And I think that we should have something. But in my situation, what I found is that the $300+ a month I was spending for this insurance coverage that didn't give me vision, that didn't give me dental,
That's right.
I still had to pay out of pocket to see my doctors.
Yeah.
I've
Yes,
been
you
with my
did.
doctors for
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
was
Yes.
paying more for a plan that my doctors didn't accept than what my doctors were charging me.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. You got to think about.
So
Yeah.
So the
Mm.
Yes.
thing that I would say, if you can, and I don't in any way suggests that this is an easy thing to do. But if you've got some years before you're retiring, while you are thinking about the what money I'm going to live off, whether it's through a company sponsored HSA,
Mm-hmm.
bank some money for healthcare. Thank God I don't
Yeah.
have any health
Yeah, there you
issues,
go.
right? Thank
Yeah.
God I don't have that.
Yeah.
So, it's like regular annual visits. But the point is,
Right.
I was spending all of this money on insurance that none of my doctors accepted, that I still had to pay out of pocket, that even the blood work that I had to pay that out of pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, everyone's situation is different, but I would suggest that people really look at the HSA, because I think that's what it's called, maybe the health professional,
Yeah.
right? Because when
Yeah.
you leave your company, that goes with you. That's your money,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
right? That's your
Yeah.
money, and you can use that towards health care,
Health spending
possibly to
account.
tide you
Right.
over, kind of thing. That I didn't know, because I would have done that years ago when I was working with my company.
Yeah. So definitely talk to your HR department, your benefits department to
Absolutely.
understand what you
Right.
have.
Right.
Right.
Y'all is an absolute
Yeah.
priority
Absolutely.
before you retire.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you know what you're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyone else want to add anything to that?
I just want to just chime in and just mention long-term care and caretaker plans. If you are in your 50s and planning on retiring in the next 10 years, get into it right now,
Mm-hmm.
because long-term care is one of the biggest things that you will look at when you're about 70 years old, 75, that something might comes up and you might need care for the rest of your life, and you
Mm.
don't have that cover under your regular plan you have now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the things that you, and if you can afford it and you got a lot of money, you're financially wealthy. That's one thing. But if you're not, it's going to cost you a lot of money to try to get
Yeah.
that type of plan when you're 60 plus years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will
Yeah.
cost you a
Absolutely.
lot of money, long term care
Yeah.
and caretaker, if you don't have that resources. So
Yeah.
I would
Is
advise that as well.
is that like long-term disability a part of that, or something
No,
completely
no,
separate?
it's
No,
just
Separate.
it's
it's
long
just
term. It's
Okay.
separate.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Separate.
And
separate.
a lot of
Totally.
companies were introducing it probably about 15, 20 years ago. They were introducing it as a
Yeah.
medical benefit. I can speak to my company. They were offering it
It
as a
says you
medical
got to go into a
benefit.
living assistant,
But that
Yeah.
would be
something
on
like
that would
that.
you would have that if you stayed with that company, right? If you didn't wasn't with the company, you'd have to get it on your own, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. John, anything you want to add to that, or did we cover some of what
No,
you
no,
wanted?
no. I was just coming in on what Sharon was saying. It's actually like one of the perks. It's something you have to actually sign up for. But like
Yeah.
Johnny said, it's good to get it early in your
Earlier.
career. That way you
Hmm.
do have it when you do retire. So it's
Yeah.
already
Right.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, next question. For many people, career becomes a major part of their identity. How did you navigate the transition from what you do to this next season of life? Go ahead, Sharon, with your smirk.
Michelle and I've had this conversation.
Uh huh.
So as Michelle started with you know, like when you know you're not supposed to be someplace anymore, like just anything will set you off. I think in my
Mm-hmm.
mind I retired at 50,
Mm
right? In my mind, because I was like, these people are driving me crazy.
hmm. Mm hmm.
I just, it's like I have nothing else to give you. And if I did, I don't want to give it anymore. Right.
Right.
And
Right.
so for me, that was, and I was a person who loved what I did. But it got to a point that I started asking myself, what you're doing and what you're aiming for, what has been, you thought has been what you're supposed to have and be, is it really your personal value proposition? Is
Mm
it mine? Not what is expected from whomever outside of me or family, and not what society tells me I should be aiming for. And for me, I think that probably really started happening around 50. I was just like, why am I giving all this time? My name is never going to be on this company wall. Why am I, like, why? It was just why? And I didn't
Mhm.
have sufficient answers. And
Mhm.
that started the trajectory of who am I and what do I want to be?
Mhm.
Not associated with something, someone, but who am I?
Mhm.
Sharon, the
Yeah.
individual, the soul like just me. What's my purpose on this earth?
Mhm.
And as I said, for me, it probably started at 50 because I can remember having some serious conversations, and
Oh yeah.
it Michelle talking me off the ledge. And it just went from there. And what I discovered was there's so much more to me and so many more gifts that God has given me that was not meant to be solely used at a company
Yeah.
or at a job.
Mhm.
And in discovering that is where I found my peace and my joy.
Yeah.
That
Thanks, Sharon.
was that was that was what I had to do. And as a Sora who told me they used to work for me, she said, "Your job affords you to eat. It does
Mhm.
not mean you have to eat filet mignon every night. You might have to have some tuna, but you won't go to bed hungry."
Absolutely. Amen. Amen.
That was mine.
Thank you, Sharon. John, you smiling.
It's a mute.
Take yourself off mute, John.
There we go. And I thought I
Uh-huh.
had some connection issues, but I think it's okay now. And
Okay.
and I like when I saw the question talk about this next season. Um, it's the freedom to use your time the way that you want to. And I
Mhm.
wrote down doing happy things because I think it was mentioned earlier. Um, all of those years, those 32 years, you're talking about 40 hours every week. That's
Mm,
a lot of your time in your life for that
mm,
Mhm.
stretch of time. Now it's like, okay, I have that freedom. Like I mentioned earlier, I've completed something. So now I'm going on to something else. Now I can do some happy things.
Mhm.
That's that next seasons for me.
Mhm.
What do those things look like? So
Mhm. And John, what are you doing? And Sharon, talk a little bit. I'll go back to you in a minute.
okay.
What does that look like for you now, John? For you, what are you doing now?
well, I have a consulting business. It's JOG Consulting. I put it
Mhm.
out there, and that stands for Job Options and Guidance. It's a play on my name on purpose.
Mm.
My middle name is Oliver, but I've been doing these types of things for years and years and years. I'm a sole proprietor, so now I can do more of that. Uh, and it's related to my career, helping people with interviews, helping people with salary negotiations when somebody's getting
Mhm.
ready to make them an offer so they don't leave a bunch of money on the table
Mm,
because they didn't
Mhm.
know this one little thing. And I talk to
Mhm.
people about that all the time, and they're like, wow, I did not know that. Of course you didn't know that because you haven't had JOG consulting in your life. But
Exactly.
but
John, you and I need to connect because I mean, I just tell
yeah,
people about total, it's about total reward. It's not just the
right,
cash piece,
right,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely.
what I want to do that more so because I have something to provide. Going to a community center and talking to a group of 30, 40 people, and they leave with some very valuable information,
Mhm.
that type of thing. And then spending time with my granddaughter who's getting ready to be 7. I went
Mhm.
to her celebration today that kindergarten was over. That's special to me. you
Yeah,
know
mm,
so
absolutely.
so doing those
Absolutely.
things, and I consider that giving back, that
Right.
consulting business. Yeah, I want people to pay me, but it's giving back because it's things that I've learned going all the way back to 96. Johnny, I remember when I was quote unquote online, I was working for Duke University, and that was my very first HR job. But
Mhm.
that's a long time ago. So I have
Yeah.
mm.
all of that knowledge that has been built up over all of those years. And now I want to give back with that
Yeah.
platform. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John, you and I are similar. I'll chime in and then I'll get to Lavay and to Johnny. Because for me, and like Sharon said, we've been talking about this thing for a while. Um, and for me, I really, really, really started thinking about the whole retirement piece when I was in my 50s as well. And quite frankly, when I got divorced, it was just like it was my trigger for how can I give back? how can I give back? And that's when the life coaching piece kind of came about. And then I was talking to one of my mentors, and she's like, Michelle, like you, John, it's like, I've been in HR since I graduated as an undergrad, right? I have my master's in HR. And she was like, why are you not leveraging that as part of your business? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And that's how, my company was born. But it was, for me, it was, how can I give back to people as well? Like you said, got a business. Yes, I want to get paid, but I do a lot of pro bono stuff as well, because that's how important it is for me to help other
Yeah. Oh,
folks when I
over
can.
real quickly, over the
Uh-huh.
years, people were begging me, it's like, John, just let me pay you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know he's like, I know you love doing this, but let me pay you. Like, go ahead, you can pay me. So,
yeah,
right.
yeah, absolutely. Johnny and Lavay, who wants to
I'll
go?
let Lavay go first.
Okay, go ahead, Lavay.
My thing, now I love to cook,
Mm-hmm.
and I have
And
my
she's a
little
good cook,
business.
y'all.
My little business, Lavay's Cuisine. I love to cook. That is my gift. That is my joy. That is my blessing.
Mm-hmm.
And I also do bracelets. But I really love to cook. I try to do different dishes, work on him with it. I do it with certain people.
Johnny is your
Yeah,
taste
yeah,
tester.
he's my taste tester,
Yeah.
and then other people too as well. And I just love doing that because that's my relaxation. I relax
Mm-hmm.
with that. I can
Mm-hmm.
cook and nobody needs to bother me. This is what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
I do bracelets as well. I just started that maybe about a year ago.
Yeah.
Um, I like to do photography. He bought me a camera when I retired,
Okay.
and I did retired February 1st, 2023. I had to put that in there. So
All
yes,
of us remember those dates. It's like, yeah, I
yes,
remember the hour,
Absolutely.
the hour I sent
so
my note. Yep,
yes,
sure enough.
yes. So that's my blessing, my joy, and I do that.
Thank you, LeVay. How about you,
Yes, yes.
Well,
Johnny?
well, my thing is all my resources, and I give back.
Mm-hmm.
My main thing that I do, I give a lot of consults in reference to veterans,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of veterans out there that are entitled, but when you start talking to them, they don't have a clue where to start at.
Mm.
So that's what I do. I lead them into that direction where to get them started, how to help them get health care, how to help them to get some type of ratings, maybe even compensation behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But also it comes back. They want to pay me. And I don't take money. I do all this for pro bono. I
Mm-hmm.
don't take money because they deserve it. I don't need to take their money from them.
Right. Right.
So
Especially the
people
veterans. They
ask,
fought. They
yeah,
fought for us.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, people have asked, people have asked, and they have not, um, uh, uh,
Ooh.
they even try to slide, part of the Martha Point Marine Association here in Charlotte for the last 7 years, and we have done a lot of things in the community,
Johnny, you guys are
especially our
fading back and forth again. I don't know what's going on with your
scholarships. We
internet.
give away scholarships solely. I'm going to you get another scholarship year, the same recipient, and we continue doing that. We have just finished our first 4 years of doing this, and we have given over $100,000 in scholarships.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
for
Amazing.
five or six students.
And
But
who's that? And
that is
who's
great.
that, Johnny?
But that's giving back. That's what I. That's Moffett Point Marine Association right
Okay,
here
the
in
Marine
Charlotte, Chapter
Association.
40,
Okay.
which is the Charlotte
That's
chapter.
amazing.
Yeah, Moffett Point Marine Association, which I am a legacy of as well. I was in the Marine Corps, but my father fought in World War II and in the
Okay.
Marine Corps. So, and he's the original Moffett Point Marines. And it's a great organization. You have one in the Triad area as well. There's about 30 chapters all over the country. So that's one thing I do, and of course, being in my fraternity for 44 years, I am very active in that, and I sit on international board co-chair for military affairs on the international level. I was the first 6th district military affairs chair as well in the 6th district, which is the North and South Carolina. So I work
Ease on
very
in, ease
close
on into the
with
frame,
military.
Johnny. Ease on into the frame because
Yeah, move
you
this money.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Got it.
He's very
Okay.
involved, Michelle. He can talk to you
I
about
know
what the
he's
market
busy.
is,
That's
or,
why I
I
call
mean,
him the
he
mayor.
is
Look, that's
very,
why I
very
call him.
involved.
Look, you know that's why I call him the mayor because
But
he's doing all kinds of
I
stuff.
know that.
but
Yeah.
Yes,
besides that,
I do. Yes.
I'm not ashamed to share this. And well, it's not being ashamed. I'm not. I'm open to share this. I am 18 years prostate cancer survivor.
Amen.
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 18 years,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
work with an organization called FIN. It's Prostate Health Education Network.
Hmm.
And we do exactly what we're doing right now. We do podcasts, we do webinars, we do live panels, and we travel and go around that. We just got finished doing the HBCUs in North Carolina. We went to Shore, we went to North Carolina Central, we went to
Johnny, I don't know what y'all doing.
Johnson
Y'all
C.
keep going in and out. Okay, go
Smith,
ahead.
and we went to A&T, and we gave
Okay.
very important for us people who look like, especially black men.
Yeah.
Especially
Amen.
black men, prostate cancer is very important.
Yeah.
But my energy at doing, I love doing it, and I have no problem. I take a phone call anytime about anything about that.
Amen. Amen. Johnny Lavay, I need y'all to check your connection because you keep going in and out. John and Sharon, are they going out for you as well, or is it just me?
Yes.
We keep
Yes.
Okay.
going out, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's something with
Okay.
your connection. I don't know what it is, but all right, Sharon, because you didn't answer that question.
I did not. So I
Yeah.
feel like at this point I don't want to say because everybody's doing this.
No, but hey, again, what I love about
Okay.
all of y'all is everybody's doing something just a little bit different. But so it ain't, look, don't be ashamed what you're doing.
I'm not, honestly. So for me, I have for whew, I don't know how many years now, but a number of years been a world traveler. And so part of my planning for retirement is to travel. So
Mhm.
my first trip, I'm leaving in September. So September to the week before Thanksgiving, I will be spending 2.5 months in Italy, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I mean, ultimately, what I wanted to do, I really wanted to leave the U.S., but
Mhm.
I would never do that. My parents are alive, so
Yeah.
I
Okay, that's
am.
okay.
I would never leave my parents. So I have decided that for my retirement, a vast majority of it will be extended travel. So
Mhm.
I will be spending 2 months in Florence, Italy. I'll come back for the holidays shortly after. Um, we have our Founders Day in London because I'm in a London chapter. I will probably spend 3 months in Malta. Um,
Mhm.
and wherever I end up, it's wherever I end up. That
Hey,
gives
you
No, you
you
me,
just
you
I know you always
single,
like
you
to
no
just
like,
do you.
children.
You know,
You do
children,
what
we
you
ain't
can
have to
do.
worry
But
about
but
that.
but but
You
again,
doing
the
you.
reason I like the I'll say the three rooms and what you guys bring is everybody's doing something different. And I think people need to understand, retirement in terms of our
same.
parents and what they did is very different than how we
Oh,
are living our
Right,
lives these years,
right,
right?
right.
And I think,
definitely,
what
definitely.
there's other things you could do. How do you leverage the talent that you have? If you think about John, myself, Johnny, and Lavay in terms of things that we've done, and now we're able to pour into that more now because we have the time to do that, right?
And,
And if you have the freedom to do what you're doing, Sharon, why not
well,
do it?
and the other thing that I will say to you is that, there, as a single Black woman, society has put so much on us and we've carried it and we're tired of carrying it, right? Like, don't tell me I'm strong. That's not a badge of honor. It's not. It's not a badge of honor. Um, and we carry so many people and so many things and we put ourselves in the background. Or we just go, okay, I got it. I could do it. But then you go home at night by yourself and you weep because you're
Mm-hmm.
tired. And everybody's like, oh, but
Yeah,
you're
right,
strong, you're strong, but you're weeping, right?
Right.
right.
And, you know, God gave us one life. And my living my one life to the fullest, as I said, looks different from everybody else's.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it works for me. That's why he
Right.
made us all unique creatures.
Right.
We're not the same. When I travel, I get pure joy. I am free. I learn more about me and who I am and the woman that I'm becoming.
Mhm.
It opens my mind to experiences, situations, people that I would have never engaged with had I traveled with my friends. And then don't get me wrong, I travel with friends, but I get such peace when I travel alone because
Everybody
I
else.
only got to worry
Right.
about me,
That's
right?
Amen.
right. Amen.
And I have
Amen.
had so many women, and I'll post things and people are like, are you by yourself? And I'm like, absolutely. And they go,
Hmm.
how do you do that? And my response is, because I like my own company.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
right.
my company.
Like,
Other
Amen.
people might
amen to
not,
that.
but I like my company. And I always encourage, always, and some of my sisters who are married, they're probably like husbands, but I encourage my sisters. Take time for yourself. If it only means taking a day and going to a spa and all you do is think about you, because we
Amen.
can't love and give to those that we love when we are not full.
Amen. And I
We
and I and
can't.
I that was a big lesson for me because what I found, and I don't know, some of you may experience this during the pandemic when we were all working from home. I mean, many of us were working triple hours.
Yes.
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 We just
Exactly.
were,
Yes.
right? It wasn't,
Exactly.
yeah. So the
Exactly.
burnout was real.
It was
And
real.
how do you make sure you're taking care of yourself?
It was
Okay.
real.
So living with purpose look like for you today? What does that look like for you today? Is it
Hmm.
Uh,
different from what you already shared? Any of you?
Now it's
I,
pretty much the same what I already shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
My
different.
purpose is giving back, making a difference. But basically, I was doing that when we was working, but we continue doing that because it's a passion I have.
Yeah.
That if you got a passion, utilize your passion because it keeps you happy, and that's the thing about
Absolutely.
it. You know,
Yeah.
And
Anybody anything
traveling,
different? Go ahead,
I
any
think,
Sharon.
different? Traveling, sharing. We travel. We've been to Barcelona, been to Spain. Aruba is our
that's like
one destination that we go every year. Our first one was um, the grill, yeah, the grill
yeah,
in Jamaica. So traveling, I understand what you're saying. It's a
mhm.
peace of mind, and when you're away, it is great to get away. I know I go with my husband, just Johnnie and I. I don't go with a lot of females, but it is great to get away and just say, "This is me. I'm at peace."
Right.
Yeah.
Even if he's
Right.
somewhere,
Right.
I'm at peace. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
have a
Right.
great time, and I understand. I
Yeah.
feel you,
So let me
and
so let me so let me ask y'all this because y'all did kind of catch the y'all covered the purpose. How about your definition of success? Has that changed at this
Yes.
stage of your life? Okay.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So
Talk
yes.
about
I,
that.
so let me just one
Go
thing
ahead.
about purpose too. I also think, and I own this as purpose, and it's something that I say to young Black women, whether they're doing study abroad or whatever. People have preconceived ideas of who Black Americans are and what we represent.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
And
right.
whenever we travel, I don't care where it is you go in the world,
That's right.
it
Hmm.
is our responsibility to tell our story and not let other people tell our
That's
stories for
right.
us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when
That's
I
for sure.
travel, I am usually in places that no people there have not seen the likes of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I come in and let them know this is who I
Well,
am. And what you see and the perception of Black Americans on TV is
It's
not the story
not.
that we've said and told for ourselves. So I
And
think
you are
that
so
becomes
right.
that I take on as a responsibility. Like,
You are so right.
right,
Yes,
like
for
Thanks,
sure.
I
Sharon.
don't care what you see on
Yes.
TV,
Thank you.
but
That's not.
Well, especially
I
these
am
days, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
So
correct.
that I think is also part of the purpose.
Yes. Someone chased me down. I was in Italy, right across from the Vatican, and this guy's yelling at me, and it was for a good purpose, and it was an Italian person. I was wearing my shirt, "I am Black History," a
Mm-hmm.
purple and gold shirt, "I am Black History," and he said, "I love your shirt," and it was very interesting, and we had a conversation and find out he was from South Africa. He looked as white as
Mm.
I don't know what. He was from South Africa, and he said, "I probably got more black in me than you do." But he
Mm-hmm.
wanted, yeah. But the thing about it, you never know. But
You
share
never
your
know.
history wherever you go
Go.
outside of the United
Right, right.
States.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
very
That's
important
important.
It's
because they
very
got a
different.
different perspective
Of who we are.
Exactly.
about who we are.
Of who
And
we
you
are.
have
Yeah.
to talk to people, and that's been the most
Right. You
personal
have
You
things.
to.
have
Like
to
when you
You
talk
have
to
to
sit down
talk
people.
to
You got a
and you
different
different
talk
perspective.
to people.
Yes.
Y'all
You
getting into a
That's
whole
that's
nother
what that's
podcast
what I was.
episode.
Right.
Y'all getting into a
Sorry.
whole
Oh, okay.
podcast
Yeah.
episode. We
Okay.
got to
Sorry.
do. I'm
Okay.
gonna have to
Back
do
to the
something on
Go
question.
travel
where you
later.
going.
Let me get y'all back here. John, help
Sorry.
me bring them
Okay.
back, John.
That,
John, bring them
yeah.
back for me, John.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
but that the definition of success, yeah, it has changed at this stage in life because during your career, for me that 30 plus years, it was all about titles and
Mhm.
progressing and getting the most
Sure.
most
Yeah.
salary that you can. But now it's about freedom, doing what I want to
Mhm.
do, and
Mm-hmm.
now there's that peace of mind. So that
Mm-hmm.
definition has changed. Yes, I do want to be successful, quote unquote, doing some other things. I've never been across the big pond. I've never
Right.
even been to
Mhm.
the West Coast. So
Mm.
there's some things, some first that I want to do that I
Mhm.
probably will do now. So that's my definition of success now. Those
Yeah.
other things, that freedom,
Yeah.
away from the titles, away from the salaries and things
Mm-hmm.
of
Right.
that sort. So
Mm-hmm.
hearing you all talk about those things, like, oh yeah, I got to go
Yeah.
here,
So
there.
we gonna take probably
Yeah,
out your vocabulary, John. We're
Right.
going to
exactly,
do it. Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And I will say it's definitely success is very different now. And again, from that Black woman single perspective, is I did not define what success looked like while I was working. I allowed
Mm.
people to
Yeah.
tell me what success was, and that's what I was supposed to strive for,
I think
right?
a lot of us did,
You
Mhm.
Sharon.
know,
Yes. Yeah.
I was like, get a corporate job, and I was one of these people. By the time I'm 30, I'm gonna be a vice president. I'm gonna have, and I had those things, but I had no peace and no joy. And I
Right.
kept
Yeah.
going for it, right? And so
Right.
I was letting the world define what success was for me while I was going
Mm-hmm.
through my own inner turmoil. But then I was still young and trying to figure out, how do I find my voice and be me? And so when I got to the point where all of the things and that I thought I was supposed to have and that I would be successful based on someone else's standard, and I was still not happy about it, because again, it was not how I internally measured and didn't take the time to figure out what success
Mm-hmm.
was. When I got older, it was like, what does that look like for you? And I stopped apologizing for not wanting what everybody said I should want.
Yeah. And Sharon, I
And
know
that's
you
the
and I
message
had
that
this.
we've had this conversation,
We've
and
had
I
this
tell women,
conversation. Yeah.
your
It
success is
certainly
different from
was.
mine. It looks
Yeah.
different, and you embrace yours, and there's no one right fit or shoe for all of us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah.
know, you're talking about success,
Mhm.
and I know I was
Right.
first generation,
Mhm.
getting my master's degree,
Mhm.
first one working in corporate America. So I
Yep.
hit a lot of firsts in my immediate family. But to your point, we were chasing a lot of things,
Mhm.
right? To your point, what everybody else viewed success looked
Right.
like, and really didn't take the time to just sit back and say, no, this is not what I want, right? Hold on, y'all. That's my
And that's
alarm
not
to
to blame
yeah.
somebody
It's
either.
not to blame anybody, but it's
Yeah. Not
just
to
at
blame.
that point, that's what we were doing.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what it
Exactly.
Yeah,
looked like.
Yes.
Good, John. You gonna say
yeah.
Yes.
I have
something?
one other comment that I realized afterwards in terms of success. I worked at North Carolina State University in the College of Natural Resources. and I was in the dean's office doing HR. And when I left, they had a little get together. I went to another, part in state government, and the dean said, John was the person that always kept me straight in terms of HR, making sure that
Mm-hmm.
we were doing the things that we were supposed to be doing. That was from the dean of the entire college.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for the town of Cary and worked with the fire department, police department, and the fire chief. He wrote a reference letter for me. It's like, John is the person that made sure we did the things right.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea I had that influence,
Mm,
that impact
Mm-hmm.
on those top leadership. So that,
Mm-hmm.
clarified
right.
success for me after the fact. And it made me feel real good. It's like, oh, that's real cool. They saying those
Yeah.
wonderful things
Right.
about me.
Right.
So that
Yeah.
made me feel really good that I did do something that was meaningful during that journey that I completed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, John.
Sure.
Um, for someone approaching retirement and unsure about what comes next, what advice would you give them?
Well, I would say um, it's never too late to focus financially on retirement. While yes, you absolutely should start early, but it's never too late. Um, and the other thing that I would say to people is think about your relationship with money, right? And what I mean by that is how do you view money? Do you view money as a means to an end? Do you view money as a I got to save, save, save? Like, what's your relationship with it? And I think when you talk with a professional and you lay out your expenses, what you do, how you view money, how you want to retire, it helps you get on your path,
Yeah.
right? It helps you to get on the path for you. But start
Mm-hmm.
as early as you can. But if you, for whatever reason, life happens and you can't, it's still not too late. Just
Mm-hmm.
get a plan and stick with it and work with a professional.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharon. John, how about you? You on mute, John?
To take myself off mute. Oh,
Yeah.
I would say, and I wrote this down. It says to take your time, um, jot down all your thoughts. And I just wrote this down just now. You will know when it's time.
Oh
For
yeah.
me, I turned 65 January 30th. So I knew that, hey, I'm ready to do it at 65. I have a lot of my high school friends and high school classmates, college classmates from North Carolina Central, class of 83. They were like, okay, I'm waiting to age 67. I'm waiting to age 70. And it's based on that retirement moving up. I'm like,
Right.
you're not guaranteed to get to 67. You're not guaranteed to get to 70. So I said to myself, 65 is my magic number. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, I had had the 30 years with the state of North Carolina. I won an award from the governor's office, and it's
Mm-hmm.
called the Order of the Longleaf Pine. A lot of people in North Carolina know about it. It's very prestigious. But
Yes.
see Johnny's look, he may have heard about it before. It's called the
Yes.
Order of the Longleaf Pine, and it comes from the governor's office. You have to be recommended for it. You have to have 30 years, and then the HR department recommends it, and then you could get it or not get it. I received that. So you're gonna know. I
Yeah.
did mine, I did all my paperwork 4 months out, but I knew that 65 was gonna be my magic number. And then
Mm-hmm.
they said, well, you want to wait at least 30 or 60 days after you turn 65. So that's why I went out March the 1st. But
Mm-hmm.
take your time with it,
Mm-hmm.
particularly folks that are close in terms of age and close in terms of years. With the state government, with military, with federal government, everything is based on number of years and or age. So for
Yeah.
me, it was that 30-year mark. And it's like, okay, I got the 30-year mark. I got the age 65. I'm looking at Social Security. I'm looking at Medicare. It's coming, Sharon. But so I was like, those were my sort of things. Like these are the decision makers for me, the decision points for me.
Yeah.
So
That's
And one
great.
of the things, and I heard this from 3 people in my circle who were approaching 65. One of the things about the 65, and John, you can maybe be able to speak to this when it comes to Medicare, y'all, they calculate your last 2 years of salary comes into play with that. So I know some people who were even at that age,
Yes.
because they were making such a high salary, they're paying very high medical insurance because of what they made the last 2 years. So that's
Right.
something too, you all, yeah, each of us have to do what's best for us in terms of age. But that was one of the things that I didn't realize. Now I'm good because, like I said, I had a couple more years to go before I reached that. But that came as a surprise. But do your research, y'all. Check,
Yeah.
the Medicare stuff. You can apply for it at least, I think, 6 months in
Yeah.
advance. I
Right.
think.
Mm-hmm.
So don't wait to the last minute to do this stuff.
No, you
Start
gotta-
if you're thinking about it, go ahead and start doing your research now. Yeah,
do
go ahead.
your research.
The Richardson's room. What y'all got for me?
Well,
Okay.
basically everything been said that has been covered, but I will always go back to healthcare and to give anyone any advice. Start it early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your
Mhm.
homework. Do your homework. Do your homework. Also, professional people as far as estate planning.
Yeah.
Do that
Mhm.
early as
Yeah.
well. Estate planning is very important when
Yeah.
you're getting ready to retire as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah. So that's
Absolutely.
something you need to look
And what
at as well.
and one of my college friends, Roz, hey Roz, she says, how long will
How
your
long
savings last?
That's right.
Ask
Uh,
that question of yourself. How long will your savings
Yep.
last? Because that could determine
Right.
what you decide to do post retirement, what you might have to
Right.
do.
Right.
And
Right.
Michelle, may I also add that is absolutely true, but also when you're planning, and this is what I also mean about your relationship with money. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of times
Yeah, get this right.
people go into retirement doing the same thing and spending the same money they always did. And I used to
Oh yeah.
always say,
Yeah.
I get a paycheck, but I'm already on a fixed income, right? Like my paycheck doesn't change month to month or week by week to month. It was the same fixed income, right?
Right,
And
right.
if you
Right.
have things like credit card debt, get rid of them
Get rid
before
of it.
you
Yes. Get
retire.
rid of
Yeah.
that.
And then
Mhm.
once you retire and you've gotten rid of it, don't allow yourself. Revisit, think again about your relationship with
Yes.
money.
Yes. for
That's
sure.
that's a big one,
That's
Sharon, because I know
absolutely
when I was
that's
talking to my advisor, I was like, first year I was still spending like I was getting a check. I was like, "Ooh, okay, Michelle, reel it back, reel it back,
Yep.
reel it
Yep.
back, reel it back." Yeah,
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 that's really important because
yeah.
you don't want to like you said, you're spending money, you already at a fixed income. You have to make that decision on what is more important.
Important.
You want to buy
Yeah.
clothes
hmm
or
hmm
you gonna pay your mortgage, you gonna pay
Right.
your car. You
Right.
got all
yeah.
that stuff you gotta think about. And people say, I'm retired, I can do this, I can do it is totally different
It is.
because you're
And
not
And I
what?
getting a
think
paycheck like you normally would be
and I
receiving.
think if people
Invest your
think
money. Invest your money. Invest.
absolutely, and I think if
Yeah,
people
Yes,
that's something that
remember,
yes,
Eric
if people
said.
remember that
Yeah,
your paycheck, if you get paid twice a week, it doesn't go up on the second pay period of the month. You're
that's right.
already on a fixed income,
Fixed income,
right?
exactly.
We have always been
Yes.
on a fixed income.
yeah,
Remember that,
yeah, yeah.
right? So, and you plan
And
accordingly.
invest. And I like, so Eric, another college friend, said invest your money, not only save. And that is so important. And things you think, I had my advisor when I was talking to him, something I was going to pay off, because I was like, oh, let me just take this. And he's like, Michelle, that same amount of money you can invest and I can get back more than you would have put out if you tried to pay it off. So again, just make sure you're talking to the right people, to ensure that you're setting yourself up for success. You don't want
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
surprises. And I know too
Right.
many people who have had surprises. Johnny, what were you going to say?
Oh no. I just agreeing exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But investment. But once you get with the professionals, as far as the professional finance planners, estate planners, they will lead you towards the investment side as well.
Yeah,
It,
absolutely.
it's all about what you want to do. And Sharon was right on it. When it comes to your money, what do what is money?
Yeah, what is your relationship with
What is
money?
your
For sure.
relationship with money?
Yeah.
Everybody look at, oh, you got a pocket full. Or the thing about it, no, I use it for church to buy apples and oranges. And they say,
Right.
what are you talking about? Apples and oranges,
Oranges.
because I don't eat oranges. I like apples.
Right.
And then people
Right.
look at me like, what are you talking about? But what I'm really saying is that I use my money wisely.
Yeah.
I use it on what I want to use it, but I use it wisely. It's not what you want me to use my money
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah. We're
And
definitely watching spending for sure. I know I do.
Yeah.
Watch my
yeah,
spending. Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think whether it's retirement as a community, we have to better understand money and investments and our relationship with money and understand that everything, was it they not like us? Well, we can't live the way others do and
People live,
expect the
right?
same outcomes,
That's right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
right?
No,
So
absolutely. So
so
I'm gonna
I
leave
think
it
it's
at that.
essential.
Let's see. You can achieve your goals with planning. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Planning, planning,
oh,
planning. Well,
there
y'all,
you go.
that's all. I mean, John, were you gonna say something?
No, I see the folks in
Chat.
the chat.
Yeah.
Do you have a number of folks that are actually on like
Yeah, that's the
Facebook
people
and
on. Yeah, yeah. We have people who are on
okay,
Facebook, some people who are watching from YouTube.
okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you see all those folks.
I
Okay.
see the names. Yeah, I
Okay.
see the
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. I have
And
one of my daughters is on, so she's like,
oh,
Daddy is doing great, great.
hey daughter, hey daughter. I don't know which one it is, but
That
hey daughter.
that's Dr. Grimes. She's a pediatrician. So
Okay, and she might be looking.
Oh,
She
okay.
might be watching via my website because the people,
okay.
if you're watching via my website, you're incognito. I can't see
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, she's a
But
Hampton pirate. So
okay, all right. But if
Yeah.
people
And
are
One thing I do want to
commenting, I
say,
definitely can see the people who are
John,
I,
commenting. Good,
one
John.
thing I want to say, John, that's I want to give you kudos for winning that prestigious award. That is the highest award that you can receive in the state of North Carolina. Is that Global Elite
That's
Award.
amazing.
And that
Congratulations.
is
Congratulations, John.
yeah, I see both daughters. One of my daughters just said hi, Dad. So but
Oh,
thank you,
okay.
Johnny. Thank you for that.
Your
I was
dad's
real
doing great,
surprised.
y'all. Yeah.
there
yeah.
you
Well,
go.
Imani
listen.
is a A&T Aggie. So
Okay. All
Oh,
right.
okay.
Well,
Okay.
y'all,
mhm.
thank you for what. So let me just say this. Thank you to everyone who took the time out to watch. If you know someone who will be blessed from
Okay.
listening to this conversation, know that the links that I shared on my page and tagged your family members in,
Mhm.
they can catch this in replay. I'm gonna put y'all in the green room.
Hi,
My
Riley.
guest.
I want to say, I just want to say, my cousin Dot, she came on, and
Hey
I'm glad that
Doc,
she
how
came on.
y'all? Everybody give
Hey
your shout
Dot,
out to everybody.
yeah,
Hey,
everybody, shout out to everyone for coming on. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
thank you,
Bye.
thank you. I'll put y'all in the green room, so y'all wait for me until I come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, y'all, thank you for everybody who was able to tune in tonight. This topic just has a special place in my heart because I know what I went through when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And as I said, this kind of wraps up my series finale. What I'm going to do for my career evolution series, this is the finale. And what I'm going to do is share all the links to each of the episodes. So if you happen to miss the other episodes and you have someone who's either an early career professional or you know someone who's struggling and want to make a pivot, you can share those links with them as well. And as I mentioned, I am an executive career and life coach. So, I'm willing to partner with somebody who needs some extra assistance in terms of just thinking through what is next. And I do offer a complimentary consultation to do that. And I will share my information on a thank you post that I sent. And I'll also share, because part of my give back to my guests is anything that they're doing, I like to share as well. So John, I'll share your link to your company as well, so people can reach out to you. Johnny, your vet stuff, make sure that I get that to people for those who might be interested in that. So what's next, y'all? I know I'm going to have I want to do another episode, not specifically career related per se, um, but about AI and just how do you navigate this space? A lot of people are struggling to find jobs, and I want to bring in a recruiter who I have partnered with before and an AI consultant to talk about those topics. So expect a conversation around that. I'm thinking about June, but stay tuned. In the meantime, y'all have a great evening and also have a great weekend. Take care.